Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of our 4th Age Total War Tharbad campaign. Just having what is going to be a fun little battle here against an army entirely consisting of Eriador spearmen. This is Adunabar's small force that was threatening the settlements of Tharbad and the other one, I guess Ettendale? I can't remember the name of that other one, but we're getting them here. We're catching up to them with an army, really just a few units. We've got some Cav mercenaries, we've got some Cav archers as always, we've got some pikemen, some Tharbad militia, and the captain here is a unit of mariner swordsmen. So this should be pretty fun and straightforward. We're going to be shooting them at any second here. They're going to have to come up the hill if they want to answer that arrow fire. What I'm curious about is how well the Tharbad militia are going to do in this situation. I think they should be beating them handily, right? So 10 and 22 for defense. And if we check you, yeah, 7 and 17. So it should be a total cakewalk here. Let's send them to charge in. We're going to get a few javelins probably with our captain here. I'll get the pikes up just to kind of support. But, oh, come on, guys. Don't be that way. Don't do that thing. Well, we'll charge down anyway. We're charging downhill. That should be fine. We'll get the archers around so we're not shooting my own guys in the back. And we'll run down after them. We are on the offensive here, after all. And we're going to need to bring the fight to them. So I think they're going to turn around and take this here in a second. 72 versus 90. I mean, we should be absolutely wrecking it. Okay, we're going to be hit in the flank. Let's bring the pikes over to the left, actually. I mean, we're going to get kind of swarmed here. We are losing, and we are playing on hard battle difficulty, which means that the AI is getting some bonuses that are not reflected in the stats that you see on the page. I think it's +4 to certain things, +4 to attack, or something like that. It would be kind of nice if I can keep as many of these guys as possible. But yeah, we're doing well. It says we're losing quite a bit here, but I don't know. Evenly matched. Okay, maybe if we left it for a while, I think things would balance out. Let's just send the cav right in. And this should be a decent charge. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'll bring the archers down just to chase routers here. Okay, yeah, sure, let's continue the battle. And put everybody off fire at will. We don't want to get any of our own guys, but it's a fun little engagement when you have a few of these Eriador spearmen and you know, not a lot else. You can just kind of play around and, you know, relax, I guess, for a change. I thought I took you guys off. Alright, so with that, we are pretty much free in the sort of the northeast, where all the things that we're going to be facing now up there should be just rebels. And they're not going to be aggressive, because rebels in this game just kind of hang around in their own provinces. Occasionally they'll send a force. And I was wondering, oh my gosh. Wow. Expert commander. So +2 to morale, +1 command when attacking and defending and ambushing and fighting at night. So I guess that means he's a night fighter. And extra movement points. Oh my gosh. So this is a Gondorian. That's fitting. He's one of the mariner swordsman units. So it's kind of nice that it kind of makes sense, right? He would be from Gondor. He's one of the mariners, came up on one of the ships, I guess, or his family did. So he gets a little bit of a penalty to public order. And again, the thinking there is that the people from Gondor up in these parts are maybe a little haughty. They've got a little bit of pride, and the locals don't like them so much. So they're a little bit of public order penalty. But they're good at collecting taxes, and they're good at efficiency in building. The House of Dir-Hael, a descendant of lords of the fief of Lebanon in Gondor. All right. Patron of the West. He's mature. That's the only issue, is that he's in the prime of his years, which could mean that he's not going to be around too long, but he's intelligent. Overbold and unlearned, those things are not great, but intelligent means that he's going to just be getting better at things. So he could be pretty much anything I want. Yeah, Heba The only thing is his name doesn't match his Gondorian ancestry, I guess, right? Heba of Ettendale. We can't really do anything about that. The names, if you've ever looked in the name file for, you know, the base game or any mods for it, you know that the names are just kind of, there's just a big list of names, right? And the names are by faction and either faction or culture, but I think it's by faction. And so you can't really differentiate any more in between those names. So that was one little battle we wanted to take care of. The other battle I think I want to do here is Numinas, and we've got a single family member defending it, which is a cav unit, which should be good because I've got some pikes here, you know, and some spears, and I've got my own heavy, very heavy, you know, infantry. And then they've got, let's see, 1 archer, 1 grim spears, 1 dark swords. Now, this is not great. Maybe what I ought to do before I actually engage is combine units. I guess that's the only one, really. Okay, so we've done a little bit of comboing. Maybe I can spread out these 30. Okay. A little bit more reasonable. We've got some weird odds and ends. You know, a very little bit of cav, which is not going to be that helpful anyway. But I think 47 axemen, we've got some of these. Really, the general is going to have to do a lot. And I'm just happy to get a Numinas under my control, so hopefully this will work out well. It's a very nice campaign model, and you don't get to see it up close too much because you don't, well, at least me, I don't typically fight a lot of battles up here. It's rare that I play a campaign that's focused in the northwest like this. We'll see. We're going to have to, I think, send some archers. Pikemen, Axemen, and Tharbad. Yeah, I want to sort of preserve all of these guys. Because the Spears of the Bridge and the Pikemen are going to be useful against the General. Axemen and Tharbad are going to be useful against everybody. Mariner Swordsmen I want to keep for the street fighting as well. And so really that just leaves archers to do all of the lifting of the siege equipment, which is fine. But this, you may notice, this is very different from the typical Dunedainic settlements we've seen. And I forgot this, actually. But Numinas gets the more dramatic Dunedainic settlement model. And so all the settlements we've been fighting on so far have been a flat city that's got quite a bit smaller of a footprint. I think it's maybe like roughly half the size of this. Maybe even like a quarter or a third the size. And, you know, so it's got your kind of Dunedainic streets and buildings and all the rest of it, but this one has some interesting approaches. There's 2 ways into the plaza. The plaza is this sort of height in the center of the city, and you've got really just 2 gates to pass through. These don't close or anything, but they are 2 passages that you need to get through, and this can be a very tricky city to take. One advantage of this is that the way the plaza is situated here, the AI is typically not going to, like if they're defending the plaza, they're going to defend the plaza. So they're not going to clog up this part too much. They may rush out and, you know, if you get close and especially if you're shooting at them, they may try to defend it that way. But usually you can get up at least level, maybe rest a little bit, and then push on into the plaza. But there's 2 ways to get there, right? There's this way around the back from where we're located. And then the front has itself a couple of different approaches up to this kind of level of the hill, this tier. So it's a really nice settlement model, and we don't see it as much as you used to, actually, because in the initial version of the mod, this was the default. You know, all of the Dunedainic settlements had this, except for a few that were like... what was it? You had, well, of course, Minas Anor was a unique settlement model, and then you had Minas Ithil was a unique model. Helm's Deep was a unique model. It wasn't exactly Dunedainic, but you get the point. But apart from that, all the Dunedainic settlements, you know, the ones that were held by the Reunited Kingdom, even the ones you'd find up in the north, were basically this style. And one thing, and I can't remember whose decision it was, if this was a thing that like the players of the mod were pointing out, or if this is something that the team sort of internally decided. But one thing that was sort of observed was that you had, especially in the north, you would have these settlements that were very tiny, right? And they were maybe in kind of a backwater region, yet they were this very imposing settlement style. And so this was the first one, of course, that Webba made, and then the second one, the one that is much more common now, he made as a sort of a response to that idea that we didn't want to have this kind of imposing Dúnedainic structure in every settlement, simply because it would be too, it's maybe a bit too grand, right? Now, we may lose this because we are getting close to that. Shoot. We're really just running out of people. Maybe I can sacrifice some archers to try to take it all the rest of the way here. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Are we still firing? I don't think we're shooting anything. All right, 10%. They're celebrating. But what we'll do is we'll at least get these archers on this wall. We'll start to capture towers. We'll see if those archers respond. By the time these guys get there, we'll be getting closer to them. Oof. 20%. We might not make it at all. As long as we get one good way up, we're fine, though. And even if that means sort of conquering along these towers and, you know, taking a weird long path around. All right, come on, guys. What I don't necessarily want to do is send up any of these guys to fight on the wall. What I want to do is get archers in place. All right, come on, start carrying it. Are we? Oh, that's right. I just sent them on the tower. Oh no, no. All right, fine. Fine. Probably wouldn't have made it anyway, but we really have wasted this unit of archers. That's all right. We get them here. Get the city. Hopefully, we'll be able to, you know, capture it. But we get these towers, and then these guys are maybe going to do something, right? And if they don't, then what I'll do is I'll just get some other archers and send them around. So let's do that, actually. Let's start sending you guys over here. All right, and I think we'll do the same with all of you, actually. Keep the cav over here, because they're going to have to go through the gate anyway. Alright, and I'll speed up the time. Generals? No, that's dark swords. Alright. Generals up there. So they are kind of hanging out. I like how the AI is kind of defending the hill. Alright, let's go and capture towers on this side first. We are really suffering under this this fire. But yeah, they're moving
Our soldiers have done well this day.
Over here. Now, can we capture this? Can we pick this up now? Once we've used it, we can't place it again like you can with rams. Alright, so capturing this stuff is nice because it's going to do a little bit of firing on the enemy. You can see we've already got a few kills on the dark swords here. Quite a few, actually. I think 6 of them. And these guys... Oh, jeez. Alright. That's terrible. I didn't think we would be that close. Alright, so how do I want to do this? They're going to be stubborn and just hang out on the wall. Well, I've got enough bowmen, really. Let's just send them up. There's a slight possibility there might be a unit coming down this way, so I may as well get all of these towers. Okay, so we've lost about 9 men in that single volley, and possibly from the tower as well. Alright, great, they're coming. Good. I mean, maybe not so good, because all my guys aren't going to come out, and so it's going to be just fighting. Why don't I set up my general? I mean, this seems like a horrible idea. But I think he would be able to beat these guys if he's not going to get killed with a ballista from the tower. And if he does, so be it. He's been a good general. Oh my gosh. 49 men. Alright, I'd like to capture this tower. Alright, who else do we want to bring up here? And can we do it? Can we do it? Let's get the archers back here. 47, 55, 46, 50. Alright, that's good. Get my archer buddies right here. We'll shoot right in their backs. Alright, did I? Oh, I captured it. Nice. Gonna mow him down from behind here. Alright, let's see if I can find where the general is. Alright, he's right in the middle here. That's, I think, a good place for him to be. One thing I'm kind of worried about is once you capture the towers, you get ballista fire coming in, and it can cause some friendly fire. So I think we're going to be just fine here, actually. So we sacrificed like 2.5 units of archers, but we still got quite a few of our general's men. And you know what? Let's send another archer up, and then we'll capture the gate. And while we're letting that fight play out, let's see. So here's Dark Swords right on top of the hill in a very nice position here. And what else do we have? I don't see any other units out here. But there's the commander. And there's the Grim Spears. So we could come around from the back. I think we will have to do that. We could also come around from this side and to sort of surround the sword unit if they stick around there. But okay, so we've actually got all of this. Let's just keep running around. And you know, I think I'll start moving guys towards the gate because I think they get fatigue by marching, you know, up and down the siege towers and ladders. Alright, and I'll send you all the way over, because if we want to come up this way, we want to capture at least this tower here. Alright, that's the gatehouse. Okay, are they coming up? Oh, they're getting hit. Great. Oh, this is perfect. They want to come down and defend, because maybe they can see I'm moving men around here. Let's bring the archers back. Okay, they're giving up now. But we took them down by half, so now there's 35 of them in that unit. Let's see, the commander's gone back to the top of the hill. Alright, let's see if they come after me once I get inside. And it's definitely time to bring the general down. I think these archers, though, could maybe stay on the wall. Okay, they're all going back in, up to the top. Alright. Fair enough. So this will be a pretty straightforward climb up to the top of the hill. I think I want the general close to where, like, the action's going to be. But I do want some guys going around the other side. The pikemen and the spears need to be, you know, kind of in the thick of it here. I imagine the general, like, this is the unit that I'm scared of the most. It's going to be the unit coming down the hill after me. So we'll get a couple of archers up here. Let's see, you're coming up here. The Axemen. I think the Axemen might be a good candidate to send around. It's a long walk. But let's do it anyway. Let's send him over here. We got quite a lot of time. 25 minutes. The archers can come down now. Alright, what are you guys? Bowmen, merchant scouts. Right, so we'll send them around the back. And you're not going anywhere, so you can run around back here to shoot. I want a few bowmen up on the main assault to maybe pull some people down from the plaza. We'll see if that works.
Bodyguard.
And if I can do like that...
Spearmen. Pikemen.
Let's see, I think I can get the pikemen over here. Okay, they are firing. Alright, it was a little earlier than I expected. But I think it's going to be fine. Alright, perfect. Run in, great. "35 dark swords. We've got over 40 merchant guard here. Alright, all you guys need to get up to this hill. And I guess I can bring you over too. 20 men. Alright, so they're not dropping as fast as I hoped. 17. Alright, here we go. Starting to rack it up. The pikes are starting to work. We haven't lost any more of our bodyguard, and there he goes. Beautiful. Alright, nowhere to run, so we should cut down all of them. Alright, we've got archers here now, and that means that we're close enough to start shooting up here. That could be a bit of a problem. Let's see. Yeah, okay, these guys are actually fairly close. We can just sort of pull away. And we're actually, you know, we're hitting these guys too. So let's run everybody up the hill. What's that? Grim Spears. Okay, I think that's the unit I do want coming down.
Spearmen. Swordsmen.
Let's get the general right up here after the dark swords. And right, I was gonna run you guys away. No, it's not happening, I guess. Right, they're steady, they're fresh. The trick here is that some of this is pretty hard to maneuver around, right? These are not going to give you a good charge line. It's like, you know, any city terrain. So I really do want to be hitting them with my infantry here. Actually, let's get these guys around. And my pikes are right here. Yeah, we'll do the same thing there. Evenly matched, shaken. Yeah, you see they're not flanking, they're just kind of pushing straight through. So let's get the archers out of here. It's always a tough call for me to decide, you know, should I pull them out of combat, because doing that tends to cause a lot of losses. But I think this is the right move. These guys are, you know, they're not going to rout, but they're down to 25. We are doing some good work. Oh, okay, these guys have routed. Perfect. Alright, so now it's time to bring the cavalry up, because I think we're going to be getting close to a situation where we can charge. So get rid of the spears. We will be able to set up our cav here. But let's wait and get rid of the spears first.
Spearmen. Swordsmen.
I mean, it might not really matter. Yeah, let's just let this play out, because we're gonna get all these guys back anyway, right? The merchant guard. I'm not worried about them. Beautiful, beautiful buildings here too. Very cathedral-like. I always like climbing the tower. Oh. When you zoom out to try to get more of a vision of it, it actually brings you back to the highest point that you can zoom out. But I thought I could get a little higher than this. I guess not. Alright, but we are high up. Okay, we're almost done. 3 men. And so that is a Numinas. Nice view of Lake Evendim off in the distance. There's the river. I guess that's the Brandywine, right? And we got it. Great, clear victory. You know, lost a few men. That is typical of any siege assault. But this is great. So the only settlement that Adunabar has now is the one to the north, pretty much due north of Anuminas, I think. Tharbad. Yeah, right up there. And they've got some odd units outside. We're going to occupy this. Population here is really low. But this is nice. Yeah, we can't really do too much with training here for a while. But we can get rid of that military building. We'll keep all the other stuff. This is a chief city, so we're going to have an open policy. But before we do that, we have to do the Homeland Dominion thing. And let's see. I guess we could theoretically retrain. You know, that might not be a bad idea. I think we've got enough people, yeah, that actually took the population out. Maybe that's not a good move, but now we'll have a full unit of cav. And let's just kind of go west, actually. I'm curious about how far over this settlement goes. I think it might go all the way up. The dwarves have built a fort here. Wow, lots of units, lots of archers. Okay, so this, yeah, Northern Arthurdine really covers the whole of this region. And then we've got Forage Hill up there. So we'll have to take a turn for Vane. Don't know the population here, and I'm not going to try. But this is a family member, at least. He's the heir. He looks old, though. So he may die of old age before we get around to taking him out. That said, we do have an army here. And I guess he sort of inadvertently captured Arnor North, or became governor of that. That's all right. I was holding off on moving him around because of that loose army.
Captain.
But I guess now we can. We can move him over into the west, and I think that's what we want to do. We'll leave one archer in there, and I think that'll be fine. Yep, population is continuing to fall, so... And we've got a spy in there as well.
Captain.
All right, so let's just move over into the west, and we'll see if there's like some awful disaster that results from some hidden army that I can't see. But oh, interesting. So there's a family member in here. I mean, this is not actually a particularly formidable unit. It's a captain's guard, very similar to the mercenary cav. It might be identical, but I can't remember what the stats are. But it's interesting that they've got some cav up here. So I do want this because I want to be able to train Lostoth warriors myself. That seems like a cool Tharbad thing to do, right? Move into a place, sort of exploit the local labor. But honestly, that's just a very cool unit, I think. So we're a little bit behind in terms of our Dominion buildings. We've got a few working here. We've actually got 4 that we're working on. One at Foradrain and now one at Illuminas. But that is okay. And maybe if things look a little rough with public order, we'll hold off before we destroy the one in turn for Vine when we actually capture it. All right, but again, this is, I think, yeah, just a couple of Grim Spears. Now, they could cause trouble if they get, like, you know near Fornost or Foradrain while I'm gone. They can sneak around and cause some damage, but I'm not too worried about it. And down here, we're keeping an eye on this. So let's actually just hit the end turn button because this has entirely been our turn. We haven't actually seen what Dunlin and Rohan are going to do, if anything. Okay. Now, it looks like the High Pass is still independent. That may not be accurate, but let's make a counter offer and see if they'll pay us for trade rights. If they will, that's going to be our clue that they actually own the High Pass. If they won't, then they don't. Okay. So they'll actually pay for it. Wait, did I pay them? I'm always paranoid about that. If I accidentally did the wrong thing, because I am known to do that. Okay, they do own the High Pass, but let's check our last season's report if we got income. Yeah. Okay, so they gave us 1,500, but this is right on cue, isn't it? Just as soon as we think we're done in the north, we realize that we are very much not, because now we have the Bjornings to our east. So we're going to need to get this. Let's see what the Bjornings are up to diplomatically. Alright, nothing. They are at war with rebels, and they are allied to Dale. Dale itself is at war with a lot of people, including the dwarves. But usually that's pretty inconclusive. They may have captured this, but it would be good to get a spy over there. I guess the reason I'm curious about that is that if Dale is losing a lot of ground, right, to whoever, you know, the Easterlings, then they may be opening up opportunities for the Bjornings to take their land. Like up here, we've got the Aothiad settlement, whatever it's called there. That would be a Framsburg. That would be bad because we don't want the Bjornings getting too strong. They're not doing anything, so they're just attacking rebels, and I'm not seeing any signs of siege anywhere around here. So I kind of want to get a spy over into the east. So thankfully we've got one here. And we should probably get going on buildings in Lastbridge. Right, this is an open policy settlement. Eventually we can get, you know, all of our stuff. Not everything, but we can get, you know, up to tier 3 stuff. So let's invest in some control posts here. And, you know, I guess I kind of want a young spy in the east, though. I don't know how old this guy is, and I don't want him to just die. So maybe the thing to do at this point is to keep this army close. You know, like we'll move him over here. I've got a few odd units I could bring up north. And we can kind of get ready to take Rivendell. We want to take Rivendell anyway. There's no reason for anyone other than us to have it. That would give us our 19th province. We're going to get number 20 with Turn for Vine. And then between those two, Adunabar really will not have any foothold in the north. So that'll be 20, 21, right? Again, if the Bjornings theoretically were to live at peace with me, I would be okay with that. I have no problem at all with them having the High Pass stronghold. I don't particularly want it. But what I don't want is them to just start drifting into Rudour and taking my weakly held provinces here. So I think we're going to have to do that. And let's let's bring up a unit up here just as garrison. I don't see Dunland making a move. You know, like they're not sending troops around. I guess they could be hiding them in the trees. But they're not being super active. There seems to have been a battle down here though. You're looking old. Let's send you over into Rohan proper. Oh, I don't like this. Oh my gosh. 3 units of guards of the King's House. You forget that Rohan has really good infantry too. Shields of the Mark are pretty good. I mean, even these axes. You know, 15 and 22. Let's compare them to my own axemen here. 15 and 22. My guys, with less XP, have 13 and 25. So more defense, but lower attack. That's interesting. So yeah, I think the distinction here, or the thing we're gonna have to focus on is, you know, keeping that really dangerous cav away from us, because all this stuff is really, really deadly, while we allow our archers to do our thing, because we don't want to get into too much of a melee grind. I mean, look at this. They're training Helmingas. How did they do that? I thought they couldn't. So this Hornburg settlement is, let's see, I believe it's set to be financial, or no, it's military. It is military initially, and that's not great. Like, I believe when it's AI controlled, it's going to be a military settlement, and one reason for that is so that you can see these Helmingas. I think, I can't swear to it, but it seems to me that, like, that's the idea. We want Helm's Deep to be in the AI's hands, not necessarily an economic powerhouse, but a military stronghold. And if you've got, if you've got it as military, they can work up to Helmingas and this really dangerous stuff. Oh my gosh, this is a really cool unit too. So what you want to do as the player, though, is make this financial, right? It's just a really good move because this makes tons of money, and you want to just be augmenting that. But, you know, if you want Helmingas, which are a bodyguard unit, so when the AI trains them, they are not a bodyguard unit. They are a regular unit without a family member leading them. And that's because otherwise the AI will never train those units. The AI in Rome Total War does not train trainable bodyguards. But when you're the player, the Helmingas bring you a character, which is really neat. So I like to go military, even though it's not optimal. All right, so yeah, Rohan's doing just fine. No trouble at all over here. Maybe there's some sieges going on here, or were at one point. But yeah. Okay, we've got a lot of money. Guess we can spend some stuff in Tharbad. We've got a nice governor here. Let's see. Irrigation. That's probably a good move. 15 to 17, so another couple hundred. That takes, I think, everything that we've got, or close enough. So yeah, we'll get our spies over into the east a little bit. See what the Anduin Vales look like. And I am curious as well about the eastern end of Mirkwood. Because it seems like there's been a lot of... yeah, look at this. Where's this guy going? He's not going to deal with Rivendell. I don't think he even borders Rivendell. He borders me. So this army, which does have some, you know, third-tier stuff. Bjorning Axemen are scary, effective against armor, and it's got some cav, which is quite good, actually. They got decent numbers, and, you know, they're pretty strong. And all these units are good in the woods, and we're probably going to be fighting in the trees, so this is... we can't underestimate that. Alright, let's get all these guys together. Maybe actually I'll bring everybody over here to take advantage of his extra movement points. Let's see, I don't think I have anything exceptional to train in 3 ways, but what do we have here? We've got 1 longbowman, a pikeman. That'll make 2 pikemans. Okay, we've got some more archers we can just train as mercs. Let's go with a 2nd longbow unit. And down here, maybe some cav. We'll train a couple units of cav, and if I can remember to push them up to the north, I think I'll want them there. Yeah, so we see a lot of wars starting and stopping. Your Honor. All right, let's go up to Framsburg. Yeah, okay, so Dale still has it, and Dale, like they often do, is sort of trapped in this unending cycle of siege and rebellion with the rebel settlements. Now, I say unending, but it can end, and that would be actually rather ominous for me because, you know, we've got settlements over here, but there is this pass. And if Dale does get it together to take both of the settlements that control this pass, I think Gundabad is here, and then we've got this western orc fort over here, then Dale can just sweep through and cause problems. Now, Angmar is tough to hold. Karn Doom is a settlement here, and it's tricky to hold. But they could theoretically border me. So I'll just have to keep an eye out for that. I don't think it's worth taking any of this for me. But if Dale starts to look like they're getting over there, I'll have to think about making it hard for them, let's say. All right, we got a spy in Lastbridge, so let's send him over here. Yeah, the young guy is going to go over. And we just need to watch, because there could already be a Bjorning army somewhere in the trees. Alright, and Numenas is pacified, so now we'll get the Dominion going. 7,000 is pretty nice. Eastern Arthedain. Okay, yes, he's the Lord of Fornost, but he's still good enough that he's, I think, getting some bonuses to costs. Okay, Fornost. So we're military. We need to tech up to this level before we can get the next military thing. So it might be worth thinking about that, but not right now because we don't have the money for it. All right, let's see. Yeah, nothing happening. You know, I will have to get this at some point, but my next front may very well be the Bjornings. Okay, there's Easthold. Okay, yeah, Rohan has this all well in hand. But interestingly, Dunabar looks still pretty strong. They've got the Brownlands, they've still got the Emyn Muil, and there's no signs of fighting up here, which means they seem to be pretty confidently holding it. But you can just barely see that the Bjornings have taken the Greenwood Vales and Parth Celebrand, which is very interesting to me. This is the settlement that's like up around here somewhere, I think. Fairfeld. And this is a place that typically Rohan will take. Or, like, I guess Adunabar if they get up here. But Adunabar is not at war with the Bjornings, of course. They're perfectly content to have this border for the past 50 or 100 years. And they're not pressing their claim. All right. Well, let's just do one more end of a year. Move some agents, move some units around, and then we'll probably call it. Oh, I gotta remember to move my guy in the north, too. So let's do that before anything else. All right, I don't know where that army went. But I'm gonna know soon, because if I move over here to threaten turn for Vine, yeah, I bet that's them. Yeah, this army I think is weak enough that I will go with the Cav mercenaries. You know, we've got some okay stuff, but it's not spectacular. Right, Greyholm has finished crop rotation. Great. 10,000 now. Very, very good. All right, so we'll see how this all works out. Okay, Adunabar, good. Go Adunabar. Once I take out these two settlements of theirs, we may go for peace. And we could probably get some money out of them, but I'm kind of tempted to actually go with a very generous peace offering with Adunabar. I want them to make trouble for Rohan. I want Rohan to have a hard time, basically, because if they have a hard time, then it's just going to be easier for me, right? Let's get down here. Maybe I can see who owns this stuff. Okay, right. Anorian. So this is held by the Reunited Kingdom. So that means Adunabar lost it. And it's really tough to see. I don't see any sieges anywhere. So I have no idea what's going on. This looks like it's probably still in Adunabar's hands. No siege indications in the east. So they're happy with Rune. And I just have no idea. They lost Anorian. Maybe they're trying to take it back now. There's a bit of devastation here. So that could be them getting ready to take it back. It looks like actually there's devastation around Caer Andros. So there's maybe a siege ongoing. Do I want to go down this way? Sure, I'm really curious, and the roads there are really good. So we'll take advantage of that, and let's see. I can't get up here because of this jerk standing on the river, but yeah, the units that Dale is making over here are, you know, not their best, but it's still formidable stuff. Yeah, Black Spears. Anytime you see Black Spears, it's a bad time. Okay. And yeah, they're blocking passes. Very frustrating. I'll get down here. Maybe I can cross the river in a turn or two. I'd like to get this guy over into the east. And let's move this spy over here just to keep an eye. Where'd the army go? Is that it? That may have been it. Yeah, I think this was the army that was right here. Okay, what we need actually is an emissary. I want, you know, 1 or 2 emissaries, so that we can do other deals with the Bjornings. Maybe we get an alliance with them. And maybe we can force that a little bit if we get some kind of a war with Dale. You know, if we attack first, they may side with us. So that would be kind of nice. All right, we've got 1 horse. Let's bring him up now before I forget. it's almost certain I'm going to forget about that second horse unit, but that's fine. Down here, yeah, I think I'm really tempted to just go for one more turn to see where the spies are going to go and what they're going to want cover. All right, we lost our king. He was in Greyholm, but our new king is in Numinas. City of Renown. He is middle-aged. That's fine. He's also shadow-touched. Okay. So he's a cultist in Numinas. It feels kind of wrong. All right, Dale and Rune are going... Yeah, see, they start and stop wars, and so it's kind of a stalemate over there. All right, turn for Vane. Let's get on it. I don't think there's much point. Let's just... Sure, let's look for an ambush. No ambush. Let's go over here, get a couple of rams. And we could, you know, we could wait for them to sally out. We could just assault. That might be the better thing to do. But now we can start to get over towards Rivendell. And it might be worth building a watchtower here, too. It's kind of a lot. Maybe it's not a great position for it, but I think it's good to have something. So, now we can make it through, and we could go down, or we could go straight through the trees. I think I'll do that.
On my way.
Oh, no.
Your Honor, on my way.
Yeah, okay, I guess we're not. Yeah, look at all of this.
On my way.
Alright, we're at least uncovering their settlements. I know they've got one over here, too, Andlang, which is, like, somewhere down here. So, that's fine. The Bjornings will tend to spend a lot of time capturing some of the orc holds that are in the mountains. You've got the High Pass Stronghold is one, and then you've got, there's one down here too. And I'm kind of surprised they're not at war with the elves, but maybe they will. But the fact is, if they've run out of orcish settlements and they're not bordering any other rebels, they're probably going to attack me next. So it's good that I'm getting troops, at least in the area. And down in Rohan, let's see. All right, so Rohan managed to kick off the siege of whatever this place is, the Woldburg settlement. So they've got that, and let's see, there's probably going to be a bit of a traffic jam up there, I'm realizing now. So let's get back up here, and we can just get around this way. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. We may be seeing a new front opening up in Rohan's fight. So they're at war with the Dunabar, and they may soon be at war with the Bjornings. We'll have to keep our eye on that. So hopefully we'll have some new news to report next turn. I'll see you in the next one. Take care until then.